us.
Right, but for most of the people in the world, they're looking at this. You got the people in either camp. You're always playing to those people in the middle. Hey, Trump colluded with Russia. There's something going on there. Or Susan Wright unmasked something. I don't even really know who Susan Wright is. I know who Trump is, and I just think that's an obvious one for people to glob onto. I think it's easier marketing.
And I think the big thing is there are so many different storylines. For many people, it's all becoming just one big.
So convoluted now.
Again, the problem.
Yeah.
I feel like it's on purpose.
It is on purpose. You know, I used to believe that people just didn't know how to do television. And I'd say that's true for about 80% of the people who do television. They have no frickin' clue on how to do it. And they're told by their producers, we can't get into that because it's way too complex. No, it's not. Stop treating your audience like they're imbeciles, because you will get imbeciles if you just play Mr. Rogers to them every day and go, here, kids, here's a bad guy, here's a good guy. We are a little more intelligent than that. So they play down to us. There are 3 stories here. One, the first one, did the Russians affect our election? And if so, how did they do it? Who was involved? Let's make sure that never happens again. 2, did the White House wiretap Trump Tower? The answer on this one is yes. They did not change the outcome, but they were trying to influence our elections. Was anybody involved? Doesn't seem to matter anymore to anybody. That's an important one. 2, did Obama issue wiretap? I don't think so. Not with this first one. And the third one, is there anybody on the Trump campaign that is in bed with Russia? All you need is the security agencies to tell them, hey, they're affecting the election, which we knew they were, and I think Manafort and maybe some other people are dirty. Good, they're monitoring those 2. So the third one of they're wiretapping us isn't true. Did they unmask? Did they use the information to their political advantage that were gathered for the 2 stories that were real? Yes, they apparently did. Now, why? That's a separate story. That's a separate story. That's a separate story. And the people of the country are not so stupid that they're going to conflate all of them if a media will take the stick out of their ass and actually do their job and teach what's going on in the world. This is the biggest. We have Russia in our White House, in our election booth, in our media, possibly on the right, possibly on the left. They are affecting us. They are changing us. Meanwhile, we have every single institution in the United States being degraded. Nobody trusts the media. Nobody trusts the cops. Nobody trusts the Pentagon. Nobody trusts the White House or Congress. Nobody trusts anything anymore. Why? Because nobody has the spine to stand up. If Susan Rice was concerned, as they're now speculating, well, if something happened, maybe it's because she felt Donald Trump would erase this information and bury this information, and she felt it was important that it was leaked out, then have the balls to stand up on the day you unmask it and say, I am willing to go to jail for this. I am willing to go to jail because I think there is a connection here between Russia and the people that are surrounding Donald Trump. And so do our intelligence agency. And in 3 days, he's going to be the president and he'll sweep it underneath the rug. I know it's wrong, but it's the only patriotic thing I can do. And cuff me now, because I know I'm doing wrong by releasing this name, but it is important that we do. I would help her go to jail, but I would celebrate that somebody had the courage of their conviction. There is no conviction, there's no courage, there's no intelligence, there's nothing. It is worse than a swamp. At least in a swamp, Occasionally, the people get eaten by an alligator. I'd cheer for an alligator to eat one of these cretins in Washington.
If Caleb's right, these are all coming together, and we're having trouble sorting them out. Is this all a red herring? Is there something else out there? A lot of times it's watch the other hand.
I think it's a lot of it's what you said. There's just multiple stories, but the people are twisting them into trying to create a different story. So it is true that people like Manafort, Carter Page, people like that have Russian connections. The Carter Page thing is stupid. The report came out just now. Did you see that report?
The report where Carter Page is too stupid for the Russians?
Exactly.
I love this. Tell the story.
I gotta. So he did have connections with a Russian spy, which, surprise, surprise, Russian spies make contacts with lots of American business.
Anybody who is going over there, who is doing business that they think might have some kind of clout, of course they're going to contact you. So they contacted him.
They contact him as a part of a wider case against Russians doing other things. But this is funny. So in the court case that came out, this is Russian spy from the SVR, that's their CIA. This is him on Carter Page, quote, "I think Page is an idiot and forgot who I was. He got hooked on Gazprom thinking that if they have a project, he could rise up. I also promised him a lot. How else to work with foreigners?" They go on, they just moved on because A, he was too stupid, and B, there was larger fish to fry, so they moved on. But now he's painted as this guy that's influencing the government. Like he's so influential, he was helping Trump to collude, and that's the third story that these people want you to believe. The real story is that there were guys like this that were being approached by Russians, and they're doing their due diligence and they're getting out, like Manafort, like Carter Page. That's the real story.